Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Such a beautiful sky, all blue. It's almost 6:30 in the evening at Hyderabad, Gachibowli, Jhaveri, Whistling Court. Well, if you're thinking that the proposed 21 days lockdown is going to finish somewhere on 14th April, well, you could be wrong because only yesterday I learned that the BCG, the vaunted Boston Consulting Group, one of the leading consulting groups in the world, they said that India's proposed lockdown may go up to September. Well, I think uh, at this point of time, that may seem very far-fetched one, but you cannot deny that the proposed lockdown may go much beyond proposed 14th April, because since Prime Minister couldn't have announced that the proposed this lockdown will go well into months, because that would have created a kind of chaos and would have disturbed everything. People would have gone on rampant amassing of groceries and essential commodities. To avoid that situation, to avoid the kind of uncertainty and chaos, the Prime Minister came out with this 21 days of lockout. But to be practical, at this point of time in India, we don't know whether this epidemic called novel COVID-19, there is stages, the stage 1, the stage 2, stage 3, and finally the stage 4. As people say that right now India has entered into phase 3, but we aren't sure. We can't take the official data as gospel truth because there is a lot of gap between what is claimed and what is reality. But as intelligent person, as a sensible person who is aware of the news and who is seeing everything on the internet or through other media sources, and you can see that the current lockdown will go much beyond April 14th, because though government may claim certain figures that the number of infections for coronavirus in India is around 3,000 and the casualty is below 100, but then who knows what is the reality? The number of infection must be on the higher side. So my good guess is that just before 14th April, say on 12th or 13th April, the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, will have a closed-door meeting with the important cabinet members and the bureaucrats and the National Security Advisor, Mr. Doval, and they would like to take a fresh assessment of the situation, the number of infections and the number of casualties, and also the trend as where it is going. It is going upwards, or it is showing sign of subsiding. So that is going to decide. Even the available data show that the spread of virus is being contained and it is going downwards. You cannot hope that just in one go the Prime Minister will again address the nation and say that now lockdown is over. Even in that situation, when we'll be getting good news as far as containment of this pandemic is concerned, you can take it for granted that the lockdown will be removed in phases. Like there will be certain sectors they'll be opened, and like that gradually maybe some flights would be open, some trains would start. I mean some sort of normal life would start, but that would take, I think, around full 30 days before things are back to normal. But just imagine when the data the Prime Minister is getting is not very encouraging, and it is showing that the virus is on upwards move, then you can take it from me that he will announce a fresh lockdown for another 2 weeks, followed by reassessment in the next 12, 13 days, and that will go on. So if I don't buy the theory of Boston Consulting Group that the India's lockdown may go into September, that's a very great possibility that the current lockdown may go till June end. So we have April, the first week of April, May, June. So take it that this lockdown very well extend up to 60 to 90 days. So in that case, you should get ready for a life being holed up at your home. Thank you and good luck.